everybody arrived in these like Peugeot branded Attitude magazine cars, pride everywhere. Me and Court arrived after taking a bus, tube, 20-minute walk, hottest day of the year, sweat on the brow. I had like a fan up my dress trying to get my legs some air. My stilettos did a journey. We got there, then we bumped into your friend Jake and he was like, did you get the car? You were like, no.
The district line has air conditioning.
It did, and that was welcome.
God, Ali, the whole coordination of this outfit and your mug is...
Oh my god, didn't even notice. I almost went for a different mug too.
Pardon?
I almost went for a different size mug, a different colour mug. Because I based on sizes. And I was like, do I want a medium? No, I want a large. I need a bucket of tea.
It's a really good outfit right now that you're rocking.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Someone said they're very happy it's an hour earlier because with time zones, 9:30 is a little too late. Well, there we go.
Yeah, it's my fault that it's at 9:30. I can tell you what, if there's one person who would like it to be earlier, it is Courtney. It's always me.
I was just explaining, someone said, why is it early? And I was like, I'm not going to lie, it's mainly for me because my bedtime at 10:30. When we finish at 10:30, I only get to bed by like 11:30 because I like do things or like you're winding down, I've got to like feed the cat or like do whatever.
Me straight after.
Exactly, and like it really throws me out of sync. And now with stand-up coming into my life, Al, I realised I love stand-up, but I was not made for the lifestyle, honey. I was not made for late nights. Like an event goes past 10:30 and I'm thinking, fucking hell, get me home.
It's very different lifestyle to you. You are famously grandma o'clock. Like, I'm not insulting you by saying that. You know that.
I know it. Like, I was watching a film where they all go to like Magaluf or whatever, and I was just like, oh,
couldn't think of anything worse.
That wasn't even me when I was young. Like, where did you when you finished sixth form? What did you do to celebrate with your friends? Like, did you go anywhere? Or like,
15 of us went to Magaluf for a girls' week. Yeah.
Where do you think I went?
Oh, let me think.
And
did you go to like what?
And to do what?
You either give me a few options. You either went to Cornwall for like a weekend by the sea.
No, but one of my friends did that. That's so funny.
Or you went to like Bali for a week of yoga and self-expression.
Oh my god, I wish. No, okay, hilariously, I did do Bali once, but that was after my year abroad in Australia. So, right, sorry, right. So many people are saying love having it earlier because they've got work early in the morning. So I'm just me.
So sorry, it's always me.
I went to Paris to look at the art.
Oh god.
My friends and I were like, so we go to Paris, like just have a little weekend in Paris. And we went to Paris, we looked at art, we did really wholesome walks, we ate at nice restaurants, we got some macarons.
You know, I do love that. Like, you know, I think I'm one of them people who like, you know, when you see someone who can't decide on who they are on like their Instagram stories, it'll be like one day I'm in a field, like, this is amazing, I love nature, and the next day I'm in a rave and it's gross and dirty.
I can oscillate like that when I was younger. I went to Secret Garden Party then like a couple of weeks before, and that was a wild time.
There you go. You've got it in you. You just don't want to have it in you anymore.
No, you know what? It's a rarity. It's like, in order for me to enjoy that, I need the replenishing. I need the restoring.
Fair. Yeah, that's what I do forget sometimes, and then I crash and burn and cry to you about how rubbish I am at everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, have you looked after yourself or like had a bath? And you're like, no.
You're like, no, I don't have hot water.
Do you have dishes in the sink? And you're like, I've got a lot of dishes in the sink. And I'm like, well, maybe
start there. Gracie said, hey, how's your day been? Mine's been pretty good. I've managed to actually, my head was like, I locked it on today and I have got through so much stuff. Like,
amazing. Go you.
This morning, I was an email machine.
The best types of machines.
I know. And I wasn't even pissed off when people emailed immediately back because I actually got through all of my 120 unread emails, which meant that I was like, you can come into this mailbox. There is room for you. Welcome.
I hate that email reply straight away. I'm like...
Meet my new best friend. It's this little desk fan.
Oh, you've had a real cool day. That desk fan. Oh, look at you. You made friends with a squirrel as well.
I did. That was a great moment. So I was on a little walk. My day went okay, de-stress walk. I did my gym at lunchtime. So I was like, you know what? Evening, sunshine, let's go. Needed to return a parcel, went to the in-post locker. And And as I was walking down said street, a little squirrel was on a fence, not a fence, a little tiny wall, like a 4-brick high wall, like knee height. And he just looked at me and I was like, "You're right." And he just kind of like, he stopped and then he kind of went back a little bit, checked me out, and he went back down. And I was like, "You're not scared. I think we're okay." Got a bit closer. And I do quite like squirrels. I've got a thing for squirrels. And then he kind of like looked forward and he put like his little paw like this out. And then I kind of like really slowly. And he just, boop. I booped him.
That squirrel's gone home and been like, "You won't fucking believe what."
I know. A giant ass human booped me.
My mum's a fan of foxes.
I do quite like foxes, I can't lie.
We've cured a lot of foxes' mange. She goes to the vet and she says to the vet, "Can I buy..." Pardon?
Say that again. We've cured a lot of...
Foxes get like mange, like they get like diseases.
No. But now I know.
I think it's called mange. Sorry, Caitlin Cooper also just said it's Caitlin's birthday and they got tickets for the Emirates tour.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so foxes get like mange, and my mum was like putting antibiotics outside, and I was like, "Mum, who are you giving antibiotics to in this like little treat thing?" And she was like, "Courts, I'm giving it to the foxes, don't tell anyone." And my mum basically cured the local fox's mange, and she went to the vet and got antibiotics. And I was like, "Mum, I'm pretty sure like you're not allowed to be doing that." And she was like,
"You know it's the same fox that's coming back, because otherwise she's giving incorrect antibiotic treatment. They're not finishing that course." She could be...
I was like, "One, I'm pretty sure like you're not meant to be doing this for the foxes. Like I don't know." And the vet was like, "Yeah, it'll be fine for them, but like who knows?"
There could be a whole host of antibacterial, antibiotic resistant mange out there. Whatever the word is he said. I'm really struggling not to say minge. Just gonna say it now, gonna.
We're gonna get banned. Good day had.
Katie's just put, "If I get rabies," twice. I think it's in response to both of our stories.
Someone said, "Did she just have them lying around?" The antibiotics? No, she went to the vet and said, "I've got a fox in my garden. It keeps coming back and I can tell something's wrong with its coat. Do you have anything?" And they were like, "We do. Obviously, like the fox doesn't have insurance, so you'll have to pay for it." And she was like, "Of course, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for Mr. Fox." And I'm like,
the fox doesn't have insurance. I mean, the vet's not wrong.
Yeah, the fox isn't like, "Oh yeah, fix my mange. Here's my insurance card." No. So this is a good starting question to start us off, actually. Awesome Joe just asked, "Okay, I have a dilemma. If Lucy does come to Chelsea, I may have to become a Chelsea fan. What to do?" Joe, we've all been thinking about this the whole week. Okay. And I know Ali feels the same. I've had a lot of TikToks I could post about said deliberation.
Would you switch sides? That's the question.
But there are a lot... I wouldn't switch sides.
No.
But also, I go to Chelsea games, even when they're not playing Arsenal, because
I do that.
But I'm too scared to post my TikToks, because you post something about Chelsea, and you end up on Twitter. And that's that. That is that.
You end up being the tweet.
Your face ends up being zoomed in, this close, looking like this.
What did they say? Most annoying girl on TikTok.
No, that was the first one. Was most annoying girl on TikTok. Most annoying content creator on TikTok is Courtney Butter. And then the second one was just zooming in on my face, saying, "Could this girl smile?" or whatever.
No, that was it.
But the hard thing is, guys, I genuinely thought, I thought I looked like Leah Williamson, like this. But my face is just doing this. Like, it's not moved. It's literally frozen. It's like, tell that girl to actually move her face. I didn't look anything how I thought I looked. Anyway,
who are you to know? You did say game faces, and the 3 Chelsea players who were with us did not game face. I did not game face. I left you on your own. It was all me. I was part of it.
That's really game face. Okay, we have so many things to talk about that are all coming up.
Yes.
In a second on our Did You See That Thing? So if I'm not answering questions now, it's probably because it's coming up. But shall we start with our highlight of the week?
Yes. What's yours? I think I went first last week. You go.
Well, I think ours is going to be the same.
Well, let's see.
Should we say it in the same time? Oh, wait.
Oh, clap. Yeah.
Okay, should we say 3, 2, 1 and then say it?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, netball.
Attitude. Oh, different.
Oh, interesting. We did have a really cool week last week. That's hard
What a cool week. A very cool week.
That is so. Mine was going to the netball finals. It was amazing because I'd actually never been to a professional netball game. Like I'd watched it on TV or like watched it when I could, but I'd never been to a live game.
So fun, right? It's so fast.
So fast. And I remember watching it before being like, wow, it's really fast. But when you're there in person and you're cheering every minute, because as soon as like, it's almost like when it's their centre, they're going to score. And there's so many things that I just loved watching. I know you and I spoke about it, how like, as soon as it gets to the goal shooter, all the other people are walking back to their place. They know that their shooters are that good. It's like an amateur, like when I'm a shooter, everyone's fucking staying there for the rebound because they know. Hi, honey. She high. It was so much fun. But you go on about attitude.
No, the netball. I've got more to say.
Tell me.
We all know. I mean, it's the most basic thing to say as a sports fan. Like goal heavy, love it. But like, what was the score on like the final? Was it like 70-50 something? Like
68 or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane. It's what 45, 15-minute quarters, so an hour's games. That's like over a goal a minute. Oh.
This is what I mean. It's literally like when it's 60, that's a goal a minute on one team. It's never like it was 68 something. That's more than one a minute. That's 2 every minute.
It's stunning, and they're so fast. And what's so funny as well is when you looked at the program was so well done, and they had like how you say their names on it, and then underneath they had their heights, and
interesting.
So funny that like I was like, oh my god, they're all like around my height. No, they're all around 6'2".
In the seats looking down, you think, well, they're not that much taller than me.
Yeah.
Sorry, 6'7", 6'6" was the GS.
Yeah, she was.
Lightning.
Everyone. Bros has put, mate, can you teach me how to understand netball one day? Yes, I can.
Maybe we should do it a little special.
I once did at work a charity tournament where I was put as captain and had to teach 7 people who had never played netball before, of different abilities, different ages, how to play. And my God, it was chaos, but it was fun.
Someone said, can you teach us netball someday? Because they know nothing.
Absolutely.
I used to teach netball, and then I was the captain of my netball squad at uni, the Drama Society netball squad. And the 2 years I was captain, we won the league. The 1 year I took my year abroad, we fucking lost. And for any musical theatre fans, there's the musical Anything Goes, and our team was Anything Throws.
Oh, I do like that.
Thanks, yeah.
I'm not even a fan of musical theatre, but I'm a fan of that.
I know, it had to be drama related, and that was what we
I know, I enjoy it. Libby's put Mary something was the Loughborough Lightning's GS, the really tall one. Mary was tall. I
was like, imagine not having to jump. You just put your arm up. That's already simple.
Literally, she essentially just went. And the goalkeeper, like, she was good, but she couldn't grow a limb. That's what she did.
She couldn't stand on a ladder.
No. It's Molly's birthday. Well, I said Molly. Moll, happy birthday. Was Manager Matt good at netball? This was my last job, pre-Manager Matt. But that man, he would do it if he'd do it for the laughs. I can guarantee.
Also, I like the skirts. I like netball. It's so fun.
It's very fun. Also, what's really interesting is when you're teaching people who've never played, particularly, and it's not all men, many men who are good at sport, because they think that netball is slow and boring because you can't move with the ball, they forget, and when you tell them that you can only go in certain zones, they're so used to playing sports where you follow into the space. So, like, if they see a big space, they just sprint into it and would immediately obviously get the whistle blown at them because it's zonal. And they just could not get their heads around it. Every single time I was like, you can't go past this line. So you got to be tactical. You got to think of where you can go, come forward, pull back. And they're just straight into the goal then. And I was like, ah!
All of them are standing in the D being like, are we not allowed here?
Yeah, they were just like, why was no one here? And I'm like, because you're not allowed there. Get out.
Ruby had prom last night and is very hanging today, so not fun.
Well, I hope it was great.
What did you wear for your prom, Al? I'm just intrigued.
So I had a vision in mind and I couldn't find it. So instead I kind of half made it. It was like it was a dress that's the colour of my diary. So it's like this greeny colour. And then I sewed on, I found this really big, a Greek Levy thing that would it was gold and it was a big necklace. It was back when big chunky things were in. But then the thing was backless, so I sewed it across the top so it had like gold leaves coming down the back.
That's so pretty.
And then added some little chainy bits. So I kind of created my vision.
Oh, I love that.
Well, the dress only cost me 20 quid because I got it like in like a bargain bucket. The dress itself wasn't that nice, but I did make it look a lot better.
Oh, Al, it sounds stunning.
Thanks. What did you wear?
I had like a, what do they call that when there's no strap? A strapless dress. When there's no straps, strapless.
Boots?
I had a strapless blue dress that was like, it had like material that was like chiffony and then like jewels on this side and then like a little slit at the leg, just like a baby blue. And then I had this like fake tan and I got my makeup done, but like it was so like too much. And I was like,
what year was it? 2013. That was the year of big makeup.
yeah. And I remember being like, I don't want this. And my mom was like, Courtney, it looks stunning on you. And I was like, okay, I'll wear it. And I was so sassy to everyone at my school. I was like, yeah, see you guys never. And everyone was like, okay.
Never again.
I was like, I know who the 4 friends are that I'm leaving the school with, and the rest of you.
That's exactly how I was. Like, I kept in touch with my particular few. I don't even follow. I know, because not to say my age, but I'm 30. But when Instagram became a thing, I was like, I'm not following anyone that I don't care about. And every time like their follow came through, I was like, no. This was before obviously my profile was public. But like someone would follow me, like request to follow, and I was like, I don't care about you anymore. You are horrible. Like, I wish you well now, but I don't need to see what I'm up to.
Do you know about my best friend's boyfriend? Who, me and my best friend, her now boyfriend, him and I went to uni together when I was 18. She didn't meet him through me. But after uni, I unfriended him on Facebook. She's probably going to join this chat now. I unfriended him because I was like, well, I'm not going to be friends with that guy anymore. Like, unfriend. I didn't know 5 years later he would meet my best friend. And I had to humbly send the question again. And admit that it was me. It was me. I was the one who unfriended
you. It was me. I didn't care about you, so
I was like, I didn't think this would happen. And I don't think even you thought this would happen, my friend.
Neither of us foresaw this.
Tail between my legs. Adding you back as a friend.
Thoroughly enjoyed. Sorry, I need to break this to you because she's not in your chat. Katie Not McCabe and Brogues have just said that they both wore dresses to prom, but the photos shall never be seen.
I saw the funniest reply to someone saying, do you wear dresses? And this woman replied, yeah, of course I've worn a dress. I was a baby once. And I was like, that's so fucking funny that the only time. And she's like, yeah, I wore a dress. I was a baby at one time.
Then I was forced. I had no choice.
Arbin said proms trigger them because they fell out with their best friends of 5 years over the colour of the prom suit. No, those aren't the friends.
That's giving like American reality show.
It is. Okay, so highlight was attitude. Do you want to talk about attitude before going to player profile?
Speaking of outfits, oh my god, it was, you know, when you have one of them experiences when you're just like, this is a day that is, I just never foresaw. Like, I never thought I would be here. When we got there, and it's like the fanciest building, and so funny. So they had Peugeot as the sponsor, didn't they? So everybody arrived in these like Peugeot branded Attitude magazine cars, like pride everywhere. Me and Court arrived after taking a bus, a tube, a 20-minute walk.
Like,
hottest day of the year, sweat on the brow. Like, I had like a fan up my dress, trying to get my legs some air, getting some chubby thighs.
I was fluttering in her heels. I was like,
God, yeah, my stilettos did a journey.
they did.
But yeah, it's so funny. We got there, and then we bumped into your friend Jake, and he was like, "Oh, did you get the car?" You were like, "No." We were on the tube.
The district line has air conditioning.
It did, and that was welcome. We had a little iced coffee on the way. I had anxious belly and iced coffee, terrible mix, but yeah, it was so fun. And the anxious belly actually survived. I do get that even now. If I'm going to anything, I get a little bit of a. Holly said our outfits were flame symbol. Thank you very much.
Holly, how are you on both lives at the same time?
No, she's magic.
Holly said, so grateful for rocking the glasses anytime. Those glasses were so magnifique.
Yeah, mine were on my desk ready to go, but I never made it to. Oh, they're Katie's. Where are they?
Oh, Holly's sitting in between. Got it.
And also, someone has put, I was impressed with the toenail repair. As you should be. It was the highlight.
I can't believe that toenail repair.
I think it looked pretty good.
It did look good. No one would have known.
But yeah, the actual awards were awards of everyday people who've done amazing things within the LGBTQ community. And like, sometimes I think I'm made of stone, but those stories were impossible to not tear up about. We met some amazing people afterwards. Like, those kind of stories where after you hear them, you just can't not want to run over to the person and be like, you are amazing. I cannot believe I get to share this room with you. So yeah, that's my highlight. It was just unreal. And we saw Charlie Marlowe. We met Charlie Marlowe. There you go.
We did meet Charlie Marlowe. And they had Barata as the starter. And that was great. I sat down and was like, yes, fucking love Barata.
Okay, so moving on. Player profile.
Yes. Oh yeah, this.
Just sipping.
Okay, no, now I'm excited.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, it's a surprise that it's taken me this long to do our weekly player profile for this person, because I am a Mary Earps fan. Player profile, Mary Earps. So,
I can't believe it's taken this long for you to bring up Mary Earps.
It took me quite long to bring up Lucy Bronze, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I think we just didn't want to show favoritism.
Yeah, but now we can. I don't care. She's been in the news, so it's time. So, Mary Earps, born 7th of March, 1993. She's a year older than me. Finally, someone's older than me. I'm so bored of doing amazing fat files of someone and they're like, and they're 19.
I know, and I'm like,
I'm so ancient. Hold on, let me put my notes in the right spot. Okay, right. Are you ready? She's 5'8", also 173 centimetres, depending on how you operate. She's from Nottingham. Her grassroots team was, and I said this wrong earlier, West Bridgefort Colts. West Bridgefort Colts. Lots of syllables. She is a goalkeeper.
Like, what's that song where they sing like they're the best? It's that's just a hard name to put in a chant, isn't it?
West Bridge Colts. Da, 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 da. Okay, so how many times do you think she has capped for the England senior team?
I'm going to go 127 because that's just what came into my brain.
Absolutely wrong. It's 50. Not even close.
Why would it be so high? I don't know.
And it's 50, and it's bang on 50 because that's when she hurt her hip in the last game.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah,
everyone was like, ACL. I'm like, she's literally clutching her hip, but okay.
Yeah, it was a hip, wasn't it? I thought it was no, someone's hurt their foot. Is that Lauren James?
Or is that Lossa?
Ah, you know,
all I can think about is her toes at the moment.
They were very out there. Okay, so her England senior legacy team number is 198. She's right-footed, but we don't really care all that much about her feet most of the time. It's all about the hands.
Although, we do care about goalkeepers' feet so that they can jump really easily. We learned that at St. George's when they were like, actually, goalkeepers have to really think about their feet position.
And the power in the thighs for the takeoff. Things we learned from 13-year-old girls who are a million times better than me at sports. Let it be known. Okay, another question. How many... Now, don't go as crazy as you did, but still think it's good.
Okay.
How many clean sheets has Mary Earps got for England?
So she's played 50. 27.
25. Close. So 25 times, finished the game, no goals from the other side. No goals conceded. And so many of those were during the Euros, where I think she didn't let a single goal in during the Euros campaign. And I think that's right. I'm sure someone will correct me, but I think that's right. Right, so she's played for, apart from Man United, who obviously she's just left, she's played for Nottingham Forest, Bristol City, Birmingham City Football Club, Doncaster Rover Bells, Reading, and Wolfsburg. So the only other foreign team that she's played for is Wolfsburg in Germany. And now she's moving to PSG in France. So she'll have played in 3 leagues. I don't know what the German one is. Is it the Bundesliga? Is that what it is?
Arben said we conceded against Germany in the final.
Apart from that one. No, wait, the Euros. Oh, yeah, that one. 2-1. Got it. So an almost clean campaign. But thank you. I enjoyed that. Yes, someone else put that. We conceded to Germany, but many clean sheets about the Euros, yes. And Spain.
Yeah,
no, we didn't concede in Spain, did we?
She's done an amazing job.
By the by. Okay. She spent 5 years at Man United, but in 2021, she questioned whether she should carry on with the sport. And she almost quit. But she signed again for Man United, and a talk from... babe, Serena Wiegmann. Reminded her of everything she can do, all her abilities, and Mary signed on again. Re-entered the Lionesses team when she was called up, and that's when she went on to be number 1.
See, I've seen so many things about Mary saying about her wanting to quit, and then Serena kind of being the reason why. But I've never seen why she wanted to quit or what.
I might still have the article open because I just took mini notes from it, but let me see.
I don't know if she's ever elaborated more on it. When I first came into football, I was like, okay, but what actually happened? Like, what was going on with her?
Okay. In early 2021, she even considered her future in the sport, with her Manchester United contract coming towards an end and England return seeming unlikely, and having several interests away from football, with a degree in information management and business studies from Loughborough University to her name. However, a contract extension at United was signed, and the arrival of Serena Wiegmann as England's head coach reignited her international career.
So it was like Serena coming in and being like, I see potential in you.
Yeah.
You know what makes me laugh is in my head, I'm picturing Mary Earps training in 2021. But getting LinkedIn messages, those generic LinkedIn messages, we think you've got some really great skills, and she's like, I've got potential here. I did do this degree at Loughborough or wherever she went to, and it's LinkedIn people being like, hey, Mary, we know you're quite busy with Man United, but could I interest you in potentially this job?
And the thing is, I guess and we've just seen it as well, how Leah Williamson, I mean, if we ignore all the sponsorship contracts that I'm sure she's got, if we think about just her actual wage, her saying that it's not enough, that if she retires, it's enough to retire on, which makes absolute sense, because what's the retiring age of a footballer? 35, 6 tops?
Yeah.
And if they are on, was it today it came out that the average wage is 27,000. You can't retire at 35 on a 27,000. And I mean, obviously Leah will be on more than that. She's England WSL captain. But it's nothing compared to a male footballer who can retire.
Obviously, think about people who aren't even in the WSL. If 27's in the WSL, they're underneath that, those leagues. That's something to also look at. It's well, then how is that going to be? What kind of future are they being set up for? Big questions, which I think actually will be an interesting discussion for next week.
Let's do it.
Because I think we'll have someone who will be able to shed light without naming names.
We will have, and I'm very excited for that.
Calling this is not a FaceTime. Do you see how subtle I'm being?
I know, I always just said it as well.
We're both excited. Al, anything else?
So that's it for Mary Earps. That's all I have, because in reality, she actually she's stayed quite stationary in the clubs that she's been in. So Man United's been there 5 years. The last thing that she did, and she's leaving on the high of getting them their first ever FA Cup win and it was a clean sheet, wasn't it, at Wembley? It was 4-0 to Man U. Tottenham didn't score at all. So yeah, she's leaving on a high, but she's going abroad, so we can't WSL Sunday her anymore.
A few people have said the average WSL wage is actually 40k. I think the 27 might be for the league.
It was all the professional leagues, I think, was 27.
Oh, okay, got it.
Which I think goes down to WNL. But it's things like this that so obviously we're talking about Mary Earps' career. She was at Reading once. I think her, Frank Kirby. I saw some other really big ones that were from there as well. And Reading have literally just pulled out the championship because they haven't got the funding.
Yeah, I don't know what that even means in terms of what does that mean for the teams? Will a team come in? Will it mean that there's...
I don't know. So I guess there's opportunity for either a team from WNL will go up to WCL. But then I think they have to, if they want to enter and stay as the Reading team, they have to enter at a tier where they don't pay, which I think is tier 4 or 5. So they've qualified for the second best league, but they can't compete as that. And they were already on part-time wage. They were already, once they dropped from the WSL, I think it was last year or the year before. It wasn't that long ago. So now they go right back.
Tier 5.
Tier 5.
And they'll just keep it as just 11 teams instead of 12. And supposedly someone said apparently Leah's on £200,000.
I mean...
Which is interesting. There's also the debates about, I know this is not related to football, but with Sydney Sweeney, she made a similar comment about not being able to go on holiday or like being able to take a break from her career because she's not paid enough to actually take a break. And she got a lot of backlash for that comment, being like, what is the lifestyle people are living? But it's like a massive discussion. I don't know what they're earning anyway, but
It's interesting. I think when you say 100,000, it sounds like a crazy. Well, what was it just said that she was on?
200,000. But if you think about it, you retire at 35.
35. You split that, but then also like
the average lifespan till 70 something.
Yeah, that's half the age. Well, no, it's not even that because your working age is what 18 to most people 16 to 75 now. So she'll have only worked 20 of those years out of the 50 whatever. Like,
so just get bored if you retire too early, surely.
oh my god, I'd be bored out of my mind. And it's so bad to say that if I wasn't working, I'd be bored. Like, get a life, Al.
You have a life, but it's not working; it's purpose.
That is it. Thank you.
Like feeling like you have a purpose. Well, you'd find that purpose in something else. But interestingly, Lauren just said, "Did you just see Georgia Roberts' response saying how much lower her wages too?" That's a really interesting question. That I did see that. More to be discussed. Did you see that?
No, was it on?
Georgia posted about the wages of football players in leagues, but as we said, more to be discussed next week.
Excellent. Do you want to move on to I had absolutely no fucking idea about?
Yes, I do want to move on to I had absolutely no idea about, because we have an amazing guest today as well. Arvin just said so subtle courts, and I'm like,
have you told Arvin?
No, I've kept it a secret. I mean, not that it even is a secret, but
I've kept it a secret apart from the group chats with my friends.
Today we have an amazing guest on, talking about something that I'm so excited about, Addie's so excited about. Nicole, are you ready to come on to our live?
Hey!
Hello!
Success!
Welcome. Hello and welcome to the live. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
No, thank you for having me. I'm always so scared to do these live things because I just think no one's going to watch, but you guys are here, so great.
Oh, we've done it before where there's just 5 of us. We're just happy. Treat it like a video call.
Literally, I've done it so many times where it's like 3 people being like, cool, what are you making for dinner? And I'm like, 10% broccoli at the moment. It's fine, it happens. Do you want to introduce yourself briefly? Because for so long I called you WOSO fan. I was like,
yeah, same.
WOSO fan. But introduce yourself for the people on the live. Go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Nicole West. I am the person who wrote the Lost Lionesses. If people know about that, it first came onto the Big Kick Energy Pod as an idea of mine that I fancied doing, and then the idea just grew from there of making a story about my auntie who played in the 1971 Women's World Cup. So that's a basic, very quick premise. So, yeah.
Which one is your auntie?
Her name's not WOSO fan.
Oh,
yes. Sorry.
That's fine. Auntie's Christine Lockwood. So if anyone's seen the Copper 71 documentary, she's the one who's got the short hair, the David Bowie lightning bolt necklace, who goes, I thought this was famous on the plane. That's her. She's got the best line.
Was she wearing she was wearing like a sweat when we went to see the live viewing, she was wearing like a grey sweatpants suit thing.
That's her. She's
yeah,
cool.
she's cool.
She rocks the looks.
She did rock the look.
Yeah.
Arvin said that they watched Copa 71 on the plane to Utah and wept.
Oh, it's so nice to hear people's reactions. Everyone says that just cry, which is mad. Yeah, it's nice to hear that people are finally hearing the story, and there's stuff that's just like there's evidence for it. I've just gone so much in my life where I tell people, and there's just no Wikipedia page, no book, no nothing. I'll tell people, and they'll be like, "You're lying." But I used to think my auntie used to play for like with Frank Lampard and Rooney when I was really young. So I was like, "My auntie played for them." No, she didn't. But she's still just so really cool.
Did you always know the story?
Oh, sorry, say that again.
Did you always know the story growing up? Like,
Yeah. Okay. Since I was about, I started really getting into football when I was like 6 years old. So I used to watch my dad watch Barcelona and England men. So it used to be like a big thing. We used to have, my dad's not Spanish or nothing, just like Barcelona. So we used to have like paella nights.
I like those committees.
Champions League finals, La Liga games. We'd have like paella nights.
Cuisine and everything.
Yeah, no, I was just obsessed. Still is. But yeah, no, football was really like a big part of the family. But I wasn't allowed to play football at school because I was a girl. And I thought because of my auntie, I was like, oh, sorry guys, we can't play because my auntie got banned. So
You thought you weren't allowed to play because your auntie got banned. Did your
I thought that was why. I thought that's why no girls played. I never saw women's football on telly, even at the FA Cup. I never saw it on telly. So
it was never really televised, was it?
no, I just thought like this thing was ongoing. I thought that's why women don't play. That's why I never heard of female players. I was like, oh, so it's all from the 1971 World Cup. Why no one's playing? But no, it's just because people didn't care about women's football at the time.
Oh, do you not know that nobody cares? No one cares.
Oh yeah, no one cares. Yeah, no. It's worse than Sunday League. Apparently. No
12-year-olds apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's my favourite comment. Get those girls against some 12-year-olds and they'll see. And I'm like,
every time. But like, maybe not.
There's always some really like bizarre comment of, oh, don't you know there was a group of professional Australian women who got beat by some Australian 15-year-olds? I was like, where?
There's always that comment. They bring up this random Australian team that got beaten by 15-year-olds. And I'm like,
they whip that out every time. I've learned more about that than I have like any other men's football game because it just gets commented every time.
Yeah.
Yet to see the results.
I don't mind arguing with someone or debating with someone if they have facts. I'll be like, oh, fine. That's the fact. That's it. I can't argue with that. That's why I always come across with facts to people. But it's always frustrating when they don't have anything to say. And it'll always be anecdotal or opinionated or emotional. And you say, why are you being so emotional? And they'll call us that for women.
You get called like a snowflake, pathetic, and a little laugh face every time.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really frustrating.
So when is tell us more details about your play. So we've got obviously the big story about Code 71. We know it's real. We have the evidence. There's the archives. They're in the film. It exists. Yeah. So you've brought up your play idea. How does it all come into fruition, and when is it all kicking off?
So it's all kicking off. I love that term. It's all kicking off on the fun.
I love it.
So it's all kicking off the 16th of July to the 20th of July. I have a little flyer right here. So this is the poster, which is pretty cool. Partner designed it.
And that's the mascot, isn't it? From
that's Sochi mascot. And Sochi was a goddess of war, a warrior princess, which is why they used that for the mascot of the whole game. That was in copy. Yes, basically the play. It follows more of the England team's perspective, so my auntie and the rest of the team, as opposed to the whole tournament as a whole. So when you see Copper 71, you see the tournament as a whole, which is still great. But if you want to know a bit more about the England team and hidden stories as well, there's a lot of things that you don't learn in the documentary, not because it got cut out or anything, just because you don't know about it. So there's always another reason to come see the play. If you've already seen the documentary and you already know the story, there's more things to uncover. There's a lot of movement sequences, a lot of comedy, but also a lot of heart as well. We just started our rehearsals today. We did a read through and people cried, so that's a good sign. that things are, resonating with people, which is really, really nice. And then I wore my shirt today, which is a 1971 Martine Rose shirt. We love Martine Rose. I'm just wowed that it's all coming together now from like an idea that I had so many years ago. I just thought I wasn't the right person to do it. I'm not really a writer. But yeah, just seeing people get excited about it and telling people about it and sharing everything today, it's very emotional. It's a lot. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about it.
Whereabouts is it on?
It's at the Space, which is in London. So Space Theatre on Westbury Road, which is just slightly below Canary Wharf. So when anyone knows the DLR, it's on Mudchute. The Mudchute stop.
And that's 16th to the
20th of July. 16th to 20th of July.
And like, how? So you just said you didn't feel like you were the right person to write it because you weren't a writer. One, like, when did the idea come to you that you were like, this is something I want to do? And then what did that writing process look like? How did you get the confidence? And it's verbatim, right? So like, could you talk to us what verbatim theatre is why that makes this.
I don't know what that word means. I won't lie.
Yeah, so that's
What does verbatim
I
mean?
didn't until I started doing it. It's like, whoop. So verbatim theatre essentially is going to research almost like oral stories or written stories, written accounts, oral accounts of people talking in interviews or people writing letters, just things that you can write or use in terms of someone's speech in a show or what have you from the words of someone true in life. If that makes sense. So at the British Library,
I'm lost.
sorry, I'm lost too.
Instead of making it up, like you'd be like, here's a character, I'm going to make up what they say. You would take that living person's interview.
Oh, it's literally quotes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
could have just said that.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's me. Don't worry.
I find that a lot. I will just talk about shit. I'll go,
no, it happens to all
I
of
know what
us.
I'm talking
No,
about.
I imagine it made sense to everyone but me. But I'm also not afraid to say I have no idea what you're on about. So there we go.
Also, this is what Two Quiz is. It's learning about new things.
It's having no idea and learning.
If you weren't like interested in verbatim theatre, is so niche that like
Oh,
that's not coming up in a conversation randomly. Just like, oh, did you see that verbatim play? Unless you were like going to watch it. But
Okay, so The Lost Lionesses is a verbatim play.
yes, essentially. There's passages from the players, passages from the manager, Harry Batt himself. So I went to the British Library in London, and there were manuscripts, or in the manuscript area, there are letters and newspaper articles, and just stuff from that time with my auntie in there and everything. And I never knew that until the researcher from Copper 71 told me, you should go there. So I went, and it was bizarre. They told me I couldn't take any pictures, even though my auntie's in these pictures, and it's like family.
Really?
Yeah, I weren't allowed to take pictures. I had to write everything out by hand, and it was a lot. And it was a lot for me because I was reading things, and the way I can't say who we're talking about whom. I don't know what I can say or what have you, because obviously there's the FA and everything. I can't say too much, but there's.
Can we code name them?
What's that?
Can we code name them? I want to expose people.
Give them names. I don't know what names I could use.
I don't know,
Essentially,
I don't
though,
know.
I mean, you know, jokes aside, it's just there's a lot of nasty things that were said about the players as well as the manager. That was a lot. And then I sent all that to my auntie, who sent it to the team, and then they had quite an emotional read of it. It was a lot. But I used a lot of those passages in the play just because I think it resonates so much. Like, I can't write anything as good as that.
Yeah, it makes sense to use it. If you've got it. I guess one of the greatest things about this is that you've got those archives, that they exist. And they weren't destroyed or forgotten completely.
And the way that Harry Batt especially wrote, he was so eloquent, just and funny. And I can't write anything like that. He was just brilliant. He was so clever, a very clever man. And then there's passages from people like Tara Wilson, who is the captain and Geordie captain, the things that she's gone through, and the way she speaks about football, and the way my auntie spoke about football as well, being like, someone could take this ball and throw it onto the moon, and I will make my way up there somehow to play with that ball. It's so, even though it's my auntie and I'm biased, and there's so much heritage there, and I've heard about it all through my life, I can't help but be moved by what they say. Like, even in the read through today, I've read that play loads of times because I wrote it. But even today, I was crying. I still can't believe that these girls just wanted to play football, and there was just so much drama.
Yeah,
I don't understand. They weren't hurting anybody, and yet there was so much.
we say that every time we talk about, in particular, the ban. I know this was just after the ban, but
Yeah.
Every time it comes up, I'm like, I cannot believe that somebody just would stop someone just doing something that they enjoyed that hurt nobody. Like, it makes no sense. When we watched the film, the Copa 71 film, and you just said, I can't remember her name, the Geordie captain.
Oh, Carol Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, she had like that emotional story at the end. She goes back to Newcastle United and she gets that horrible reception. I just think, imagine someone succeeding at something and doing like the peak of your sport, essentially, and it just being met with distaste. And not distaste, just horridness, because you're a woman, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
yeah, it's just, I mean, that's in the play. That passage is in the play, and we're doing it today. And it's just like you say, everyone was saying the same thing. I don't understand how someone can achieve so much, and you can't be like, that's great.
Yeah,
Because that's normally the biggest argument I have with people is, oh, women's football is not as good as men's football. I understand. Men's football have had 100 years on top of us.
yeah, you should be better.
Yeah, you should be better. I think you should be paid more because there's so much behind it. And I don't understand how people can't see them both as two different things, because they are. And to go, they're both great. They're both at different levels, but they're both great. And we should be excited for the growth that we're seeing with women's football. And that we're part of that. And yet people are like, no, it just shouldn't be happening. It's not business sense. That there's a man and women's team, you know, the whole thing with Reading losing their women's team, people are saying, oh, it's because of business decisions. It's very business minded. No.
Is it? Is it though?
Is it? Yeah. Is it though? Are there not other things that you can do before doing that? You know, I don't know.
So we keep talking about obviously men cutting away the women's game, but keep coming back. And you mentioned his name. Is it Harry Batt?
Yeah,
so he was obviously the one guy, well, not the one guy, but one of the few guys who was like saw the potential in the women's team. Can you say about who he is and what he did?
Yeah, I mean, amazing man. He was 64 years old when he took those girls to Mexico. So 64-year-old man doing that's a lot of stress. But the biggest thing about him is that he knew 5 different languages. He fought in the Spanish Civil War, and he was a bus driver from Luton. He was nobody. Essentially.
I know we've got Amy on here. She's from Luton, and she can break that.
My family's from Luton. Yeah, they're nobody as well. God bless them. But yeah, I mean, essentially, he was essentially nobody in the football world. But he just got himself in there, and he was a maverick, is what they all say in the team. Maverick. That was always the hot word about him. And he created, along with Patricia Gregory, David Marlowe, other members of the WFA, which is the Women's Football Association. They created that in 1969. And then they lifted the ban, or they negotiated lifting the ban with the FA in 1970. And then that lifted physically in 1971. And you do sympathise with him, because he straight away went, well, great, you know, lost all this time, let's go straight in there, let's get an England team. And I know there's a tournament happening, because I know 5 different languages. I can speak with all these people around the world about what these European tours and world tours are doing. I want to get a team in there straight away. Let's get this moving. So then he got sponsorship from Martini Rossi, because he was good at corresponding in different languages. And he made things happen. And I think the FA and the WFA were afraid of that. I don't think 1972, that team, I don't think that would happen if Harry Batt didn't do what he did and he pushed them and pressurised them. I don't think that would have happened. So there's a lot we can thank him for. There's a lot of things where I'm like, you could have done that better. Maybe there could have been a bit more negotiation or what have you. But if you have that in your head that things need to be moving because we've already lost 50 years of something so ridiculous, you do sympathise with what he did. I get what the WFA are doing. I get that everyone's wanting women's football to happen in its own time. But I do agree that Harry Batt made something impossible possible.
Yeah.
Just 112,500 people in the Azteca Stadium watching the final for a women's game. And they paid full price.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Everyone always says it's free tickets. People pay to go. Like, a lot of people paid to go.
So this is a ticket. I don't know. I've got the ring light, so you can only see so much, I guess. But this is the ticket for the England v Mexico game.
So cool.
100,000 people came to this. And I looked on it. It said $15. So that is the same price as what people would pay to go see Pele the year before. So people used to say to me growing up, "Oh, well, they obviously paid nothing to go see that, didn't they? That's why there's so many people."
But they still say that now, which is crazy. Like, people on my TikTok will be like, yeah, they basically had to give away free tickets. I'm like, but they did.
I didn't. I paid.
I paid money.
There's free tickets.
There's free tickets.
No, tell me.
I guess I'm interested in, like, what's Harry Batt, if he was this man from Luton, the bus driver from Luton, what made him go and bringing a team together? Like, I'm going to do, like, where did he find them? What was that journey?
Well, he always believed in women's football, and he didn't understand why there were no teams alongside the likes of, you know, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea. He didn't understand why there wasn't a team and why it wasn't level. And then he heard about Dick Ladies, heard about the ban. He understood why for this time it had not happened. And he thought, well, I'm going to be the guy who does it. I agree. You know, I believe in this. And he was a manager of a team called Chiltern Valley Ladies in Luton, where he had quite a good, you know, amount of talent there. And he did some European games in Italy and in Sicily. So in 1969, he did the Italy, was it Coppa Mondiale? But I don't think that's the right name for it. And there's 1969 one.
Sounded good.
Yeah. But then in 1971, he did the qualifiers in Sicily. And he brought some of the team who went to Mexico along to qualify for Mexico. The only reason why they qualified for Mexico, because there's a few teams that were disqualified. I don't know how they were disqualified, what happened, but they were disqualified, and that's how England got to go into the competition. So we nearly got to go into the competition. That's by the by. But another fun thing that I found out that I didn't mention earlier when I said about the British Library, that is really interesting to me and opens my eyes, and I think it'll be the same thing for you guys. It's so mind-blowing. I read a bit from correspondence between the FA and Harry Back, where he mentions that there was a PR member of England called Ted Hart at the time. And he wanted to create, along with Harry Back, a Women's World Cup in Wembley in 1972. So he wanted a World Cup in England, essentially. They're going to host this World Cup. Amazing, right? And he asked Sir Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore, and they put down a lot of money. So at the time, it was £150,000, which now,
like millions, right?
I haven't worked it out, but I'm pretty sure that's millions.
Yeah.
Considering that's 1971, and this is now 2024. So they put that money down. They wanted it to happen. And then, so they go to the FA and they said, hi, we've got this money. We want to make this happen. There's already a blueprint for it of what the, what happened in Mexico. And they made 8 million pesos in pure profit from that. We can do that here. Here's £150,000 to Jeff Hurst and, Bobby Moore behind it, who won 1966 World Cup. Nobody knows that. What do you say? And they said, no, we don't want to be embarrassed. They said no. They had the money there to do it there and then. We could have had it all then, and we didn't.
It's bizarre, isn't it? This fear that if women do something good, it's embarrassing to men.
Yeah.
What?
But you know what's? Someone put this in my comments recently, that men fail and that's not embarrassing, like numerous times, and a woman fails once and it's like a mark against all women, and that's why women are so scared to take risks and to fail, because you do it once and you're like marked.
Clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas men fail continuously and we're like, whatever, like just try again, honey.
In case you're wondering, someone has done the maths. Libby, thank you. £2.5 million now.
Oh, bloody hell.
I love that. I love the comments that I've done the maths for you. I'm like. Also, I don't know if anyone noticed, but as you were telling that story, Ali and I, our body language mimicked each other exactly the same way, because when you said something shocking, we both went. Both are leaning in at the same thing. And I thought that's just too connect. Right over TikTok Live, Al and I are still like.
It's just always coordinated shock and horror, excitement.
Right. Great choreography, guys. Well done.
Thanks. Not rehearsed.
So, the dates of the ban. What were the dates again?
So essentially, I mean, the mark that started the ban. Let's talk about that, because I love talking about that. So obviously, if people don't know, with the Dick Ladies, they were a very, very popular team at the time while the men were at war. I think the biggest crowd they had was on Boxing Day in 1920, so 26th of December 1920. They had 53,000 people go to Goodison Park, which was Everton's ground, and 7.
Let's say as well, the war is over at that point. They have a big crowd. The men are back, so people are still going to watch the women. Like, keep that in mind as you will.
Just imagine the men, like, they leave, that no one's playing football, they come back, all the women are like, woo! They must be like,
woo! It's like the shirts everywhere. Stay away! Go back to France.
Yeah, all the girls are like, no.
thing. I mean, a lot of people say to me, yeah, but of course it's going to get popular because men were away at war and there were no men's games. I go, well, yes. I mean, in my head, I feel like it's a habitual state that people then went to go see women play as opposed to men play. I think that's one of the main reasons why it was still so very popular, as opposed to being like, oh, this is better than that. I think factually, I think it would be that more that people are habitually going to those games and that's becoming quite a thing for them. But 53,000 people went to Goodison Park and then 7,000 were banging on the door trying to get in. Now, not too long after that, bear in mind this is a charity game, they made a lot of money. Not too long after that, the FA banned women's football. And they got a doctor or a healthcare representative to say that it is unsuitable for ladies because it's dangerous for our reproductive organs. The angular movements in football are too dangerous for our curvy frames.
Let's keep in mind at the same time, doctors were saying that cigarettes were good for your heart. So
we cannot be wrong. We cannot be wrong.
Oh, it's just a medical professional, is what I'm going to say here.
I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, for me, obviously that's the official reason. I think unofficially, I can imagine that Dick Kerr ladies, because they were so popular and they made a lot of money for charity, I can imagine they would have been like, can we be semi-professional? Can we get paid a little bit and we'll do more games? And I think that might have not only freaked out the FA, but I think that might have freaked out society. That would have been the start of feminism.
Yeah.
I read that it was they weren't paid at all when they were playing. They were only paid for what their wage would be for missing that day of work.
Yeah.
And then they actually were talking about asking for payment. And then it was like, no. And then they even accused them of taking some of the charity money. This is what I read. They accused them of taking charity money. Yeah. They were like, we didn't take the charity money. It's gone to charity.
I think, like, we need to remember as well, like, I think you just said that it's the start of feminism. Like, we literally only got the vote 2 years before it was banned. So we don't have bank accounts. We're not allowed a credit card. We're not allowed a divorce unless it's the man's choice. We've got a sport that we're enjoying. We're doing well. No wonder they're scared.
Yeah, no, it was too much for them. I felt like it was after the war, there would have been too much movement in terms of women going into the workplace because the men were at war. And I think there would have been too much momentum. And they wanted to stab that out. They
only just stopped banning us from libraries at this point for setting things on fire so we get the vote. So they're not going to let us run around on the field, are they?
Wow, history, science girly, history girly. Yeah.
I mean, it feels like a different world. It feels like a dream. When you hear all that, it's insane. Like, oh my God. I think in the play I mentioned that Switzerland ladies, women in Switzerland, only got the right to vote in 1971. Which was insane.
Do that again.
Switzerland, in Switzerland,
yeah,
women only got the right to vote in 1971.
They're not as fucking neutral as they were making out, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
Because I looked that up, I was like, what's going on in feminism right now? And I wanted to put something in the play, and then I saw that, and I went, that's insane.
That's madness.
Mental.
Oh God, I could talk about this. Someone's put, sorry, Amy's put, what about the man who said, go and take a shot at me, so she did and broke his hand?
Oh my God, I just wrote about this woman and I cannot remember her name.
I mean, I've never heard
of her. I know the name.
It's in my note. Okay,
And how do we get her a damehood? Lily Parr.
Oh, it's going to really annoy me.
Lily Parr.
I love Lily Parr.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you,
Marius
Amy.
in the stands was basically like, you couldn't score a goal against me. And she was like, all right, calm down. And she kicked it and she broke his arm. On a side note, in South Africa, gender equality laws only came into practice after apartheid ended, and apartheid ended in 1995.
That's nuts.
So, like, very interesting. Sorry, Al, you were saying I interrupted you there.
No, always interrupt me with a good fact about feminism.
Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. Did I just disappear for a second?
No.
Oh, my little... sorry.
No.
I have a time limit on my TikTok of an hour and a half a day, and it just flashed up saying I needed to enter my code because I've exceeded my time limit, and I thought maybe it, made me disappear, but it didn't. Great.
No, you were here.
Interrupted again.
Someone called Kev's commented and said, this is all in living memory, which is wild that these things are, like, this shouldn't be lived past. This should be centuries old history, like basic things. Like imagine if on Thursday we just weren't allowed to vote or go play a sports game. What? Oh. It makes no sense. Blows my mind. I did have another question that was related to, oh yeah, is Lily Parr, was she the one who's also like meant to be the first ever lesbian footballer, and she was like openly gay quite like when it was still illegal? Is it her?
I think so. I don't want to put money on it, but that does.
Yeah, I've got a feeling I've heard that before, that she was openly queer, and it was like at a time when it was still illegal.
LGBTQ plus History Month meets footballer Lily Parr, the most brilliant female football player in the world.
Oh,
now I'm reading a little article.
Trailblazer.
I mean, I heard like stories of women going. They would go to their wedding, and then they'd get married, and then they go play a game after getting out of their wedding dress.
I love it.
I wish they just did it in the wedding dress. What a moment!
Oh, what's that?
I said, I wish they just did it in the wedding dress. Like, what a moment! Just wreck it. Shin pads and a wedding dress. Good. Amy's put, they erected a blue plaque in Preston at the side of the old DK factory for Lily.
And in 2019, a life-size statue.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
There we go. A little bit of information I just Googled right then and there.
There's someone commented called K-Mac, and I don't know their actual name. But they said, my mum had to write a letter to the FA so that I was allowed to play football. That's nuts.
It kind of, I guess, leads us on to our, Nicole, we usually do a section that is, did you see that thing? And it was going to be transfer news, but also, did you see that thing, the Man United facility?
Yes, I did see that.
Did you see that thing?
Just.
I laughed. I had to laugh. I thought it was disgusting. What the hell? I don't understand why they can't. Yes, obviously, I mean, if I'm going to be very diplomatic about it, the men, I guess, could have gone into the women's facilities, but then I don't understand why they didn't give the women like a rented accommodation in terms of their facilities. They got a genuine building.
Don't pop them in the porter cabins like at school when they're like, we're building facilities, and then you're in those porter cabins for the next 25 years.
I'm pretty sure that Katie McKay keeps
Portaloos.
Yeah, it's just what's even more upsetting though is like the comments. Like, I made like a tiny post about it. I didn't even speak in the post actually. I just like was rolling my eyes. And the number of blokes who've just appeared and been like, it's because women are shit. Women don't make any money. And I'm like, well, you know what? Like, the team's only been there like 10 years. Of course, they don't have a fucking chance to make the same amount of money as you. Like, it's like people. Oh, that little puzzle piece thing's come up.
I know, my puzzle piece thing came too, and I was like,
it's like people can't think that if you never paid someone, then they couldn't have that like football as their job. They're gonna have to work 9 to 5 doing another job. That's tiring. Then they're gonna come in the evening and do their sport, but it's not their full-time job. It's 2 hours in their day. You're not going to be at the same level as a man who literally runs around all day and then he gets to have an ice bath in his
done since they were 5.
Yeah, like why is it like drip feeding this information? And then I'll say that in a very nice, very collated way, and then they'll come back and go, women are shit. I'm like, oh.
Mine is, I always take the piss. Mine was the trending sound, which was like, ugh, men, nasty little creatures. Honestly, men commented back going, oh, why would we give anything to the people who make the sandwiches for the men's team? I'm like, they're so upset about it. Like, they can't handle. Or they were like,
they're so sensitive.
Like, such a dumb thing to say. And I was like, I'm not even saying it, hun. Like, it's a trending sound.
You know how this works?
You know how it all, you know.
The comments that some men make, that they're all the same comments, and they think they're being geniuses making these comments. I'm like, babes, I've seen this comment on like 5 different.
I've seen you comment that on someone else's post. The exact same words.
I see the same names. I go, yeah. Her babes, move on.
But I just don't interact. I say it every time. Like, if I don't like something, I just don't interact with it. I just move on. And then it doesn't come up again. It's magic. Like, but these people, they stop by just to give you a reminder every day that women are shit. And you're like, we don't need any reminders. We get told all the time. Keep on going.
It's a lovely place. We know.
Keep going.
All of us as well. Don't worry.
I'm fabulous, don't I? So.
I just feel like they're very, very insecure. I mean, I worked at I worked at like a fan zone for the Euros in recent days. And we've got this game that's like, like a penalty shootout. And there's like holes in the board and what have you. And it's so interesting. I see about probably, if I'm lucky, 3 girls a night. If I'm lucky. And they'll be like, had a few drinks or whatever. It wouldn't be like, I'm going to do this. And it'd have to be when there's no one there. They couldn't do it in front of a group of lads. You see a group of lads do it, and we film them and give them content or whatever. And the amount of times that some guys don't score, and we're like not taking the mickey. I was like, it's off.
They're upset.
And they're upset. Yes. And I'll go, hi, do you want this, sent to you? And they'll go, oh no. And they'll leave quietly. Like they're all like coming in, going, oh yeah, I'm going to get 1,000 points.
I think it's mad though that like they just can't laugh at themselves. Like I think, and I bet the ones that get it in are insufferable. Like I can just feel it. I can imagine it's painful. Whereas like if I fail 12 times a day at so many things, you've got to get used to it.
Yeah, there's some people where I'm like, oh yeah, I really hope you get top bins. Come on, like there's a lot of nice people that I'm like, yeah, I really hope you do well. I agree. There are some people where you're like, no.
Segueing onto this was going to be a real random segue. Ali's looking at me like, how's Courtney going to segue? You know who always gets top bins?
Is it Lucy Bronze?
It's Lucy Bronze. I'm going to be like, yeah. I'm going to talk about Lucy Bronze's transfer in a real subtle way. You know who I really
Oh, what a great segue.
Lucy Bronze.
Thank Lucy Bronze.
We're talking about the Man United Porter Cappers, and now we're talking about Lucy Bronze.
We can do anything here.
The skill of the live.
I was like, how did we get on this conversation? Oh yeah, that.
We can do anything. It's our life.
Well, we've been doing this for 20. This is our 24th episode. And I'm like, anything. It's 25th. Anything can become a segue. Auburn went. The subtlety today is unreal. Auburn, we're bashing out. There's so much to talk about. That's why.
There's too much to talk about. The transfer news this week has been like bombs dropping everywhere.
Oh god.
I mean, like no one's saying what's going on. It's just Lucy Bronze leaving. But actually, the way that Barcelona announced it was literally like, "Bye, Lucy."
Thank you so much.
They were just like, "Muchas gracias."
I found it from a comment. I was like, "That's a load of bollocks." And I looked up and I went, "Oh, oh." Oh my god, she's left.
I didn't think she'd leave. Like,
no.
Really?
I thought she had another year, at least.
Yeah.
You know what?
She might drop out.
If she goes to Arsenal, she won't, because
Courtney,
you will make many people's dreams come true. No, could you imagine? You know how they call it like the Barcelona fans, like the Barca Arsenal fans?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, but Ali and I once did this Venn diagram, but it's like literally Arsenal fans, Barcelona fans, like just cover the whole thing. It would make too many people's brains explode if she came over to Arsenal.
I would be feral.
Guys, she's going to Chelsea. I'm not even getting excited. She's going to Chelsea.
She's not going to Chelsea.
Yeah, she's going to Chelsea.
She might do. And you know what?
Don't even put it in the universe.
I'm kind of I'm not fine with it. Obviously, I agree with it. It's not what I want. But I do still go to Chelsea games on a random weekend, and at least I'll get to see her play and just pray that she doesn't play that well because it'll ruin everything. Let's face it, Arsenal weren't even in. They kept saying
in the discussion.
No, they kept saying that WSL, the top 3 this year, was Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal. Like they weren't in the running.
We're like,
I'm a fan, but we weren't in the running. Why are we pretending? So like it'll just. And with Viv's going to Man City supposedly.
I think so.
Yeah.
She's Man City.
supposedly.
Come on, Lucy Bronze and Viv Miedemar to Man City. Honey, what is next year? What is the next
But
season?
imagine how much the battle more interesting. Like it's already interesting, but Man City versus Chelsea is about to be explosive.
It makes me sick with excitement.
In the meantime,
you can't have any better players. Their sub bench is their
I can't
first
believe we gave
team.
up Viv Miedemar.
no.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
Not fair.
I'm
sick of it.
sick of it. It's the drama, Nick. I just love the drama.
Nothing left. Katie's commented, catch AT camped outside Stamford Bridge. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the thing, like, people don't like when we support more than one team. But I support individuals, and you think if Viv doesn't come out on that pitch, I'm not going to be going. I just want Viv Miedemar back. Like,
I'm just watching from afar. Like,
You're saying you're going to be a Man City fan if she goes Man City? Is this what
I
you're saying?
used to own a Man City top. Don't come at me.
oh, at least there's some history in it. You can say that.
There it. I had a boyfriend who dated Man City, and he gave me a top. I did give it to charity because I was like, get that boy out of my life. Rinse that boy out. I was like, I can't have a reminder of this phase of my life.
Absolutely.
I was like, to charity it must go. It was that or burn it. And I was like, I feel bad. It wasn't because it was Man City, it was because of the boy. But someone
No, it's just
someone
both
wearing that
things.
top.
Be both reasons.
Someone sees you in the garden burning a shirt thinking, God, this girl's really hateful towards Man City.
Yeah, and I'm like, I nearly said the person's name.
These football fans are psychos.
God, now I released so many personal details there for a second. Woohoo!
Okay, segue. I don't know how to do it. Would you like to partake in our I'm proud of section, Nicole?
We're really proud of Viv
yeah.
Miedemar.
I hate to think about things, but yeah.
If you don't know, with our classic, at the end of every episode, we do a little I'm proud of. It can be about you, it can be about a friend, it can be about anyone in the comments, it could be a thing. Usually it's me and Courtney just telling each other how much we love each other.
It is like, I'm so proud of you today.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you.
I haven't thought hard. Come on, you got one.
No,
You ready?
I haven't thought of
black
that.
because I can't think of any either. So
Okay.
really well.
Comment section. No. Oh God, what have we done this week?
Manifesto of proudness. What have I done? I don't even know what I've done
I
this
don't even
week.
know what I've done. I don't even.
I mean, I can't even say any of the things that I'm proud of. I'm just really excited about all the things that we
Okay,
did.
I've got one.
Okay, you go.
It's gonna come left field. It is about Ali. But I haven't done. I don't think I've done one in a while about. I don't know. Maybe I say this. What should be like second last episode I did about Ali being like, I just think she's great and she's amazing. I'm really proud because Miss Ali Tom Lemon used to, when I first met her, was like, oh, I couldn't do an interview. Like, it's quite scary. Like, I don't know how to do it. And Ali Tom Lemon did an interview solo this weekend.
I did.
And it was fucking funny and she smashed it. And I was really proud. She came down, she's like, oh, I just did this interview. And I was like, what did you ask? It's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I think that is fucking something to like.
She was really intimidating as well. She was cool. It was the
intimidating, lovely woman.
marketing director of England Netball. And she said it herself, she's a boss bitch.
Oh, good for you. That's so good.
Thanks. And like, I didn't even think about that. I am quite proud of that. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Say that it was scary doing interviews, and then you were like, I just did my interview, I'm ready. And I was like,
Yeah, and I just did it. I just ran upstairs and like saw her, did it, and left. I even asked. I asked. Thanks. I didn't even acknowledge that myself. Thank you. Thank you. And I have to think of something again for you. Nicole, have you thought of yours?
I mean, mine's very selfish. Mine's my own thing.
Do it. Oh, I've done me multiple times. It's nice to be selfish sometimes. Self-love is important.
Yeah, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm proud that I've started rehearsals this week and I'm super duper excited for the show.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
We'll echo that proud. That is amazing. Al?
I'm proud of you for getting through what I think has been quite an anxious week for you, and you've done it. Externally, I don't think anyone would know, even though you keep saying you're going to hate me for this, or oh, everyone hates you for this thing, or I think
a lot of awkwardness, me being like.
But yeah, I think that you're a lot more amazing at things than you think you are, and I wish that you knew it.
Oh, I'll not be like actually sweating underneath this hoodie, being like, "Thank you." That
And I'm really excited to see your show. To plug another show, Edinburgh Fringe at the Zoo. Is it called?
it is called the Zoo. Al, I was speaking about the Zoo. I know I mentioned this live. I was like, "Oh, going to the Fringe, going to the Fringe." Al was like, "Amazing, amazing, amazing," and then she went, "What is it?" Yes, I need to explain these. I need to. And I was like,
I will support you if I know what it is.
always supporting.
Always here to hype. I knew it sounded.
It's so hard to do the Fringe, so well done, because it's like, so it's so rewarding, but it's like, well, so much to think about it, like not a lot of time.
It sounded very important. I just didn't know what it was.
We're learning all the time.
I knew it was big because your message was like, Courtney messaged on the group saying like, guys, I've done something crazy, blah, blah, blah. Guess what it is? And me and Amy were both like, you ordered a normal milk latte.
Yeah, I was like, oh, honey, I'd never do that. That's actually crazy.
Think bigger.
Yeah, I was like, think bigger. And then no one got it. And I was like, I'm going to the Fringe. And everyone was like, okay.
We were not. We were like, amazing.
We were like, it's amazing. You're getting a Fringe.
That's what you're getting a Fringe.
We've
That
got
is a
some
crazy
amazing I'm proud ofs in the comments. Al, do you have any that you want to
Go for it. I'll start from the first one, which is proud of Leah for being open about the struggles during her ACL recovery. Williamson, I presume. Katie's put proud of you two for going to the Pride Awards and embracing all the opportunities coming your way. Thanks, Kane. Okay.
Said, proud of not panicking when meeting my two favourite players on the NWSL team.
I would not have managed to keep it together. Well done.
Famously, Ali and I don't keep it together.
Don't keep it together.
Oh, no.
Honestly, the day I met Millie Bright, I didn't say any of the words that I wanted to say.
I'm going to ask her so many questions. Millie Bright comes up. I was like, thank you for signing my ball. It's like, yeah.
Oh, it was such a shambles. Honestly, I had a script in my head of 10, like, I was like deciding which one would be the best one to say, like, if I could say like 2 things. And she came over, she signed my ball. I told her that I was really impressed that she had 1 hair bubble in her hair. I was like, it's only 1 bubble holding up that bun. And then she signed my ball. I got so excited that I smudged it immediately. And then she walked away and I was like, oh, no. But I still spoke to her.
God. You do kind of have to go, they're just normal people. They're just normal people like anyone else.
I didn't do that.
We've got proud of
to have so many achievements. It's quite hard to like not be like, oh my god, it's so and so.
We've got proud of A levels.
That is a good one. Proud of the team I coach for winning their first match of the championship.
Amazing.
Congrats. Proud of getting a first in my second year of uni results. Well done. And I think that's up to date.
Yeah, mine's
up to date. Proud of Courtney for pursuing her stand-up. I missed an important one.
It feels weird to be like, someone's proud of me for smashing my Fringe show in the future. That's what they said. Proud of future Courtney. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
I can already foresee my September. I'm proud of being like, Courtney's done so well.
Yeah, I'm like a shell. Proud of Mary Earps making a new start, and her Telegraph interview was good, and you guys for creating a welcoming place. Nicole, on this note, proud of you because you are opening your show 16th to the 20th of July.
Yes.
Where can people get tickets, just so we can leave them with that information?
Yeah.
On the spacetheatre.org.uk. I mean, that's not helpful. The Space Theatre. Type Space Theatre, it will come up.
If you send us a link, I'll put it in my link tree so then we can.
Oh, amazing. Then yes.
Yeah. We also need to buy our tickets because we've got it in the calendar that we're going, but I don't think any of us have bought the tickets. We've just all spoke about it.
Well, I will say this. If you want to go on a fun night, on the 19th, which is the Friday, there's a Q&A with the players after the show.
Oh, we can't get... Oh, Katie's like...
Come in here the night.
We'll have to FaceTime. And people can watch it online on the 19th, correct?
Yes, the 19th, there's also a live stream. It's like £6 ticket, so it's very, very accessible.
Oh, Nicole, I need to ask you a question. Yes. Producer Brogues has said, please can you do a clap so she can align your audio? Can you just go?
Oh.
I love
Is that good?
Producer Brogues watches this live, then watches it recorded, and we always go over time, and I'm like, Producer Brogues, I'm so sorry. Great. We just got lost. Proud of Courtney for making another seamless transition into plugging the Lost Lionesses show. I was like, thank you so much.
So nice, so nice.
Thank you. Nicole, would you like to? Al, did you have anything? Sorry, that you wanted to add, or Nicole, that you wanted to add before we sign off?
Let's go.
Nicole, do you know our transition? Our like end sign off. Yes. Would you feel? Do you want to do?
What way round do you want me to do it?
Okay, you're gonna say we trust.
Yes.
And we lust.
Yes.
And Al, you do first name. I'll do second, or whatever.
Okay. Ready? Okay. In mead,
we trust.
In bronze,
we lust.
Yes.
My Gladys.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
Bye.